Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders Singh. What's current? Desantis out of here. He's out of here. Famous Philly broadcaster. I'm gonna get his name real quick. He said that all the time when there was a Phillies when it was a Phillies home run. Harry is it Harry Callis? Yeah, Harry Callis. Okay, yeah. Harry Callis. He said, it's out of here. DeSantis is out of here. But just like the dirty game of politics, it's the dirtiest game in the world. Because it's back and forth, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna shit on you, and I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna say everything out, and call you everything but a child of God. And I'm an atheist, but call you all kinds of names, say sanctimonious, and oh my God, he's a terrible person, awful, and then he's not on it anymore. Oh, he worked so hard on his campaign. That's what Trump said. Trump said he did a great job on his campaign. He worked so hard. That's how goofy this whole politics is. Has been like that for time immemorial, for all times. This, witch doctors were voted in the tribes and stuff like that. I mean, it's been like that. We're just continuing it, and we're just bringing it into the nuclear age. It's like Trump is a nuclear candidate. He's like a nuclear waste candidate. And DeSantis was just a weakling. He folded like a chicken wing Friday night. He completely capitulated. He didn't have enough, juice to continue his run. He brought himself down. Really, he can't blame anyone but himself. He has all himself to blame, and it looks like it now. I'm going for Nikki. I'm going for Nikki. There's no one else. Biden is almost completely, detached from reality and doesn't know it. Trump is detached from reality and knows it and basks in it and accepts it and retains it and likes it. He can lie, he can cheat, he can steal. He said this before. He said he can, be on Fifth Avenue in New York City and shoot somebody in the chest and they'll still vote for me. And guess what? They did. He became president with that statement. Anybody else say that statement, they said, oh no, okay, that's not right. That you shouldn't be able to say that. You shouldn't have those kind of what person with morals and virtues and ethics. By the way, I have to correct what I said yesterday. The pastor said this. He said, we don't need ideas, ethics, and morality, which is just as vicious and just as evil. This is just an aside. The pastor at the church I go to, not my pastor, I don't have a pastor, but the church that I attend with my father sometimes, he said that in relationship to Jesus. He said we need a revelation. That's what he said. We need a revelation. That was his comment. All right. So I had to get that clear out of the way. But back to DeSantis. DeSantis, weakling, milk toast, totally, devoid of character, devoid of a spine, devoid of a backbone, a brain. He didn't demonstrate any of that during his campaign. His principles were totally out of sync with reality. Having textbooks in Florida say, slavery was a pretty rough bit of time, I guess, but at least the slaves learned some trades and skills to work for. What? Slavery was a horrific period of American history, a blight on this country's soul. So he's advocating for that to be established within the state of Florida. That's just one of his, many. It's not even a gaffe. It's just a complete, incompetent, way of looking at things, way of understanding life, understanding politics itself. It's disgusting. It really is. I mean, he dropped out because he knew he couldn't beat Trump. Nikki knows she can beat Trump. She has the ability to beat Trump. She can beat him. Now, what the American people and people in New Hampshire are going to say could be something totally different. Like the Iowa caucus showed, a landslide victory for Trump. That's what the difference is. Are they going to look at Nikki and say, well, she was with the UN, and then she was an ambassador, and she's representing South Carolina. At what point did she really represent her own state? How much will Trump try to defeat her in her own territory, her own area? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Those are the questions that we have to continue to instill in each other. We have to continue to like that about each other as Americans, as people living in the United States of America. We have to champion people like Nikki Haley, not even as like good versus evil, or the lesser evil or anything. She's like more good than evil. She's more good than evil. She's not perfect. She has her flaws. She has different policies that aren't necessarily aligned with reality or the truth. She's mystified every other candidate. Will there ever be an atheist candidate? I wonder if. I mean, I just can't. I don't see it happening in the next 25, 50 years. I honestly, if I'm still around, it'll be an amazement to see an atheist candidate or an objectivist candidate for president. Could you imagine that? Just imagine somebody going according to Ayn Rand's philosophy of objectivism running for president. Just imagine it. Just put that in your mind. Look up who Ayn Rand is. Look up who, her different endorsements are, her different constituents, and see what that would be like. What would that look like? Lex Diamonds, objectives candidate. It can only be Troy Terray. Lex Diamonds. I'm gonna need that. Salute to you, sir. Salute. I'm gonna need. I gotta say, it's been a while. My pockets are getting itchy. I need some scratch. Where's that donation from me? Greg says, I Googled Ayn Rand and saw a bunch of twerk videos featuring her and Lex Diamond's mother. Whoa! We're going hard in the paint today, aren't we? God damn. Woo! It's fire tonight. It's fire today. I don't care. All right, but I got to stick to the script. Hey, DeSantis, weakling, coward, Trump, loser. Nikki could be good, should be good, technically good. Greg S is a homosexual victim, starting with his uncle. Holy shit. Okay, they're going back and forth in the line. We have one broke person, Greg S. I think Lex Diamond sent me some money at one time. I'm looking for him to send me some money right now. Since he's on the platform, if he could just send a few dollars over, that would be very welcoming. But we have these people in politics. Politics is just disgusting. We have to, it's like we have to hold our nose, when we have to discuss politics. Greg has got to exchange his cans for coins. He's pushing one of those shopping carts. He's got cans and bottles and glass bottles. The glass is more expensive, I think. I think it's like 15 cents. And the cans, the aluminum cans are like 5 cents, I think. And they're only in certain states. Oh my God. So let me get this train back on track. Nikki Haley, in my estimation, is the only choice for president. There has to be some function. Something has to be blocked. Like President Trump, dot focus already on the check-in. Salute. Salute. Lex Diamond says, I wouldn't know. Greg asks, how much you got for cans and bottles? We got 5 people in here. That's a good sign for me. One like though. Come on. There's 4 people. Okay. Uh we need 5 people again. I need 5 likes. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. Dot Focus, Greg Ass, Lex Diamonds, everybody. Everybody hit that like button. Make sure that like button is going. All right, Dot Focus working from home today, smoking this gas. That's all right. Do your thing. He's not bothering anybody. He's not gonna run up on anybody in the convenience store. He's not gonna hit a lick. He's not gonna bust into somebody's car. He's not gonna carjack. He just wants to do some work and blow down some of that goody goody. I don't have a problem with it. Oh snap! Greg S says, I mean Lex Diamond says, Greg S says got banners ready for McCain. Wow, we are really into it tonight. Well, it's not night yet, but it's today. That's after 4 p.m. Okay, got you. After 4, yeah, you got to work, and then after 4, yeah. But you're not bothering anybody. That's my point. You're not causing a ruckus. You're not causing a havoc. You just want to blow down the goody goody. What's wrong with that? I don't have a problem with it. I'm not a libertarian. I'm an objectivist, but that's one of the things that their sticking points are. Oh well, you should be able to do whatever you want. Smoke PCP if you want. I think the only person I know of that smokes PCP is Rick James, and he's not in the chat room right now. But that's something different. We got 6 people in here, 3 likes. I need 6 likes. I need 6,000 likes. I need 6 million likes. I need 700 million people watching right now. Because I got the goodness. I got the good stories. I first learned about Desantis dropping out yesterday. It came up on my phone. Reddit is a great site. Reddit is probably one of the most important sites on the internet. They build themselves the front page of the internet. So if you don't have Reddit, make sure you get it as one of your apps on your mobile devices and other devices as well. Rick Dafo says Rick James and Petey Crack. But yeah, so I learned about the same. I was just like, that's not a surprise to me. I wasn't shocked and I wasn't surprised. He's a very, sheepish kind of like kind of guy. He's not really doesn't want to raise the roof, want to get into too much problems or anything like that. 7 people, 3 likes. Where's my 7 likes? If there's 7 people in this room, there has to be at least 7 likes. Come on now. Now it's back down to 6 and whatever. But anyway, DeSantis is a milquetoast, corny, no game having somebody. And Trump, like, he has juice. I'll give him that. He has juice. It's not good juice. It's bad juice. But he has the juice. He has that reverse charisma. He's like Bizarro. He's like Wario. He's like the Bizarro Superman. He's like the opposite of everything, but he still has power, Or he's a power luster. He doesn't really have power, quote unquote. He lusts after power, and it makes it look like an image of, oh, he's very powerful. He's in a position of great authority. No, he finds himself in positions of authority only because of bluster and rage. That's what it is. His anger factor, the factor that he riles up people. That the reason why there was the January 6th, I guess I don't know how to pronounce it. Was it a riot, an insurrection, something goofy? Welcome to the party, Rick James. Gotta say hi to Rick James. Salute. I would not have voted for DeSantis. I'm still voting when it gets to the general election. If she's still running, Nikki all day. I can't get to her. Trump has to be defeated. Excuse me. Take that back. The nominee, whoever is nominated, and it looks like it's going to be Trump. But something Nicki Minaj. No, Nikki Haley. So it looks like Trump could be defeated. He has the ability. And Rick James says, we can agree on that. Anyone but Sleepy Joe Biden. Come on back to Delaware, Joe. You don't need to be in Washington. Come back to this state. We're boring. We're corny. We're little. We're small state. We have, we got nothing going on but the rent. We got nothing going on but, shoveling snow out of the driveway, and going to school and going to work. That's it. That's what you come to Delaware for. You come to Delaware to make money. We're the credit card capital of the world. We're the corporate capital of the world. We're the chemical capital of the world. We're all about making cash. We're making products, making money. That's all we're about. That's all we do. So Sleepy Joe, come back home. Come back home to Delaware. If you want to call yourself a Delawarean, I wouldn't call you. I'll call you a Scrantonite. You're from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Okay? That's the difference. I mean, sometimes you're a Delawarean, sometimes you're not. Like when you're in that sleepy, creepy mode, can't call you a Delawarean, even though you live here. And I didn't vote for you. And there's another Delawarean that I think he was in Delaware at the time of the election. And what was it, 20, 2020. In the election of 2020. So you could be a Delawarean when you and sleepy and creepy. Okay. Rick James says, Sleepy Joe, give him some angel dust, wake him up. Well, that might wake him too much. His heart will probably explode. I got one person in here, 4 likes, not mad. It got up to 7 because I think I put DeSantis. Now it's up to 5 because I put DeSantis. People get excited. Oh, DeSantis. Oh my God. And then it goes, who is this goofy nigga? Man, I ain't listening to him. And then it drops down again to 2 or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Well, I see 4, sir. That's what the difference is. That's the difference between the electronic atmosphere. You have to respect the algorithm. The algorithm is God. It dictates and directs what happens on here. So, but Nikki Haley, ambassador to the UN, has fairly good policies. She definitely needs to hunker down on her constituency, all the people that are around her. She's relatively very young. She's only she just turned what is that, 52? Yeah, 52. She just turned 52 2 days ago. So she definitely represented America well. She still has some issues. Some things that she definitely wants to have. She sought the death penalty for Dylan Roof. That's pretty strong. She would not support an anti-trans bathroom bill. So she definitely has some interesting viewpoints, and ideas. Rick James, seriously, I'm gonna give you her name, and you look it up yourself. Are you kidding me? You're gonna ask me, is she a Republican or a Democrat? You're serious? Thank you, Lex Diamonds. I appreciate that, sir. I wasn't gonna give him nothing. That's pretty. No. Rick James says that's not young, sir. That's grandma. No, that is grandma. Grandmas can be 15, really. Grandmas can be 30. Grandmas can be young. But she is young compared to these fossils, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, pushing 80 and already over 80. That's a whole lifespan right there. She represents something totally different. But she's in a fight. She's in a fight against, Trump for the nomination. That's what it's all about, that nomination. Something has to go either horribly wrong for Trump or miraculously great for Nikki Haley. That's the only thing that can happen because Trump is in the lead. I mean, Trump is a force of nature. You can't deny that. He's an evil force of nature, but he's a force of nature. And there are people like Mr. Troy Star Terrain who will support him. There are people like the philosopher, look him up, Dr. Leonard Peikoff, one of the founders of the Ayn Rand Institute, he will support Trump, and he has his own reasons, and I don't agree with them, but I support him. He's a brilliant man. I would say a genius, but he probably wouldn't agree with that. But I would say, at least if you don't want to say he's a genius, you can definitely say he's a brilliant man. Just like Mr. Troy Star Terrain, he doesn't want to be called a genius either, but I'll say he's a brilliant man. But Trump is a genius on levels too. He's a genius marketer. He's one of the greatest marketers of all time. Make America great again. MAGA. Wow. Red hats. White lettering. Who would even consider that? He had people either devise that for him, or he was the main force behind that, and he just took off. That's more than those Obama hope, the red and blue, those red and blue banners with the hope at the bottom and the flat, and it was like the circle with the flag, and that was more than that. The MAGA I think is more than that. The marketing is just amazing. And Greg S says, do you seriously think he came up with that himself? No, I don't. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Rick James says, we already had a good taste of Trump and it wasn't a good taste. Thank you. Next. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Haley needs her wig split. Whoa, slow down. Slow down. Release the mammies on her. Slow down. Slow all the way down on that. Greg S says she wanted the death penalty for someone who slaughtered unarmed people in church. Yes, Dylan Roof. I have to respect her for that. I would agree with that as well. Because that's an example of why you need the death penalty when it's proper. There was no equivocating. There was no, well, maybe there was a issue and they kind of, did he really shoot up all those people? No, he certainly shot up 9 and killed 9 Americans. I don't care if they're black, white, red, or yellow, or brown. They were Americans, and he was an American, and he shot them up and killed them. And there's no going back and forth over that. There's no, I wonder if kind of is a hard one. Could this? No, he definitely did it. That's when you had the death penalty. That's when it's proper. Greg S says, y'all better hope I never become president. I'll make sure you never become president. I got 5 people in here with 4 likes. How's that possible? Come on now. Need those likes. There was never any argument if he did or not. Well, that's what I'm saying. But my point is people want to get rid of the death penalty. My state got rid of the death penalty. It was the last state to have a hanging in 1996. Delaware was the last state to have a capital punishment by way of hanging in a state. Last state. Oh shit. Lex Diamond saying, you going to make sure? Hashtag Skylar the Sniper. Come on now. I'm a terrible shot, by the way. I was horrible in the Marine Corps. I was a marksman. I was the lowest you could possibly be. We call it the pizza box because it's just a circle like on target circle, and it's just a square background. It's almost like a portrait. And it looks like a pizza in a box, so that's why they call it pizza box. And I was terrible at that. 7 people in here, and I got 4 likes. What is going on with you people? Where are the likes? 6 people. I still have 4 people in here. 6. I need 6 likes. Lex Diamonds. Oh, Greg S. and Lex Diamonds. You and Skylar Saunders would be the first I send to Bussy Island for punishment. Never, sir. No bussy over on this side. No bussy. No way, boy. No way, boy. BS is in the building. I got 5 likes. Thank you for the 5 likes. BS is definitely in the building. Let's see what happens with that. BS got everything popping. 6 likes. There we go. 4 people in here. 6 likes. I'm not mad. I need one more like since I had 7 people in here. So I need seven likes. 5 people in here. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. See, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it for the views. I'm doing it for the money. Let's go. I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to fake. Oh, it's for the charity. It's for the little kids. No, it's for my bank account. It's a good cause. A good cause is my bank account. BS, you're gonna have to look at the title. I'm not gonna help you. I'm not feeling you, sir. I'm not feeling you because you went against Rick James. Rick James is a loyal day one supporter. Not really day one, but close to it. About a few months afterwards. But he's definitely a supporter. And you and he have issues that you can walk out on your own. I have nothing to do with it. That's between you two. But I can't, yeah, exactly. I can't condone what you say because you go against Rick James. Rick James he's not a financial supporter, but he's a moral supporter. He brought you in for God's sakes. If it weren't for Rick James, you wouldn't be on this platform. So that just goes through. I have nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with your beef. I guess it is beef. Maybe I always say stress, tension, or drama. What Greg S is asking, what did BS do? Well, ask what BS did. Ask him. 7 likes. Thank you. 6 people in here. I'm feeling this. I really am. I have to put the right words in the title next time. Got to put in the right, keywords. It's all about the keywords. And people click. It's all about clickbait. That's the whole point. Why do people say that's a negative? That's like saying to a fisherman, "Oh, you're using bait." Like, yes. What? Oh, that's clickbait. All that is clickbait. Oh. You don't go to a fisherman and say, "Oh, you're using clickbait. Okay, are you using bait? I can't believe it. Why would you use bait? Can't you just, cast a line of without bait on it and get the fish that way?" Come on now. What makes sense? What sense does that make? I sense a lot of sexual tension between them two. Yeah, maybe. Hey, they can work it out on their own private time, not on my channel. That's all I ask. Not on my top chat. But this is a good time. I got 5 people in here. I can do a break and say, all the people that support me that definitely have, blue wrenches and have sent in more than $50 to this broadcast, starting with Peng, his lifestrongapparel.com. Check out the site. I can only advocate for the site. I never tested any of his products. We're going to have a sit down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to eat. We're going to chop it up one day coming up soon. He has sea moss and gummies and all kinds of different items. So I can't vouch for them, but I can vouch for his website and the fact that he's an upstanding, strong young man, still a young man, and a gentleman. So you can subscribe to B Jackson 5478, BEEJACKSON 5478 on YouTube.com. Tell him I sent you. He is grilling up sardines. He's drinking non-alcoholic beer as well as alcoholic beer. He has a good time. He definitely has a personality that you can follow. It's good times. All right, so Spirit Smooth Tunes, one of my biggest supporters ever. Salute to him. Is on SPIRITSMOOTHUNES. THTUNES, excuse me. He has your Sade, your Earth, Wind, and Fire, your Luther Vandross, your Peebo Bryson, your Najee, your Anita Baker. He has all that for you. He has all of that ready and willing to give you. And he has that in all kinds of music collections on his site. So definitely check him out. He is a huge supporter to this machine, and I appreciate everything he does. He doesn't come empty-handed every month. He hasn't come empty-handed, with the money stuff for me. So definitely check him out and support him. Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube.com. Also, check out twitch.tv/dot focus. That's DOTFOCUS_. I was looking for a notification from my friend Dot Focus. He was just in here, I think, earlier. I didn't see him, but I'm waiting for him the next time. I'll be sure. If you want to advertise or sponsor on this show, you can go to SKYLERSAUNDERS@gmail.com. Make sure you go there. Make sure you pick up all the ideas and ways of best presenting yourself so I can advertise and sponsor you. Also, join Scholars 100 Club by contributing $100 or more in a month to the broadcast. I might have to change the name in a few years because it's going to be the same thing as 100, where I got it from, the 700 Club. But we haven't gotten to that point yet. That'll be in 6 years, I guess. What would that be? 2030? Wow. Or it'll be here. It'll be here. PayPal. My PayPal account is PayPal.me/Scholars Saunders. SKYLERSAUNDERS. My Venmo is at Scholarize. SKYLERIZED. And my Cash App, my favorite, the one that I go to most, is $SKYLERSAUNDERS1. So make sure you check that all out. Wait a minute. Lex Diamond said, I can't. I was about to say, how do you get down? What the hell? All right, here we go. While I was going on, they're just going back and forth on each other in the chat room. Buffering. Are you in Star's basement? Maybe I was speaking too fast. I was going over the different sponsors. You made stuff up about me, Scholar. Don't act all innocent. What did I make up about you? What did I make up about you? Give me specific details, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I did do that. Until then, just be quiet. I'm not gonna put you in timeout. I'm not gonna, cancel you. I'm not gonna X you out, but you can just, you will fall from your own weight of bullshit. I don't have Bitcoin, Greg S. I don't deal with Bitcoin. That deals with taxes, and I don't deal with taxes. I don't file taxes. I don't pay taxes. The only taxes that come out automatically, and that's Medicare. That's the only tax I pay. Do you change your Cash App name to girls you trick on don't know your real name? What do you mean? I never change it. Greg S, are you smoking? Are you on the water? Are you smoking water? What is going on, Greg S? But anyway, I have to move on to my next topic, and this is I was just reading a story about Biggie and his iconic World Trade Center photos. These are some of the most interesting pictures of all time because of what they represent. Now, these there's been a clash. The photographer Chi Modu took pictures in 1996 of Biggie with a profile against the World Trade Center towers taking a series of, and this from the article quote, a series of shots he said were partly inspired by Big's reference to the buildings in Juicy, unquote unquote. And it's reporting that the estate, this state of both Notorious B.I.G, also known as Christopher Wallace, between his children and Modu's widow, all of whom are the executors of the respective estates. Quote, I say, pictures of Christopher cannot be commercially exploited without a license from our client, Trigger said to outlet. The settlement agreement is a testament to the dedication of our client as well as our team members in staying the course over several years. Modu died in 2021 and took the photos in Jersey City, New Jersey, 5 years before the towers fell on September 11, 2001. That's from the article. But this is what something that gets to me, because they want to use them as licensing for anything from shower curtains to NFTs, and completely disregard BIG's rights. That's what the estate claims. There's a settlement, however, quote, made clear that while Modu's estate would be allowed to sell physical and digital reprints of the images themselves, such as on posters and framed art, it was not allowed to license them for use on other goods. Biggie being so iconic is part of the reason why Rick Ross recently named him as part of the Miami Reporter's personal hip hop Mount Rushmore. All right, something totally different. All right, so this whole picture, idea, it really, wow, okay. I got 8 likes at least. One person in the room. But yeah, so I guess we're not in the Biggie anymore. Everybody's, I guess, the Big Papa. Okay. Noted. I will not be using any more Big Papa references after this. No, I probably will, but I just thought this was an interesting story, because just looking at those pictures, and you're transfixed. You're like, whoa, not everything I'm seeing doesn't exist anymore. The towers are gone. Biggie's gone. It's like you have to take a double take. Well, I can't show the pictures. You have to look for them online, because I have no, I'm not trying to get caught up in no copyright mismanagement or mishandling. But yeah, so it really sends you on a trip. It really sends you on a real, weird way of understanding things. Transfixed, does that deserve a pause, really, Greg ass? Seriously? Yeah, the 90s was, some of the 90s, like the early to mid 90s are in the 30s, but everything from 95 on to 99 is in the 20s still. But they just totally put me in a different zone, because when he says in the line, he says, time to get paid, blow up like the world trade, and you're like, that was the one in February of 1993, I think it was. Yeah, 1993. February 26th. 6 people died, 1,040 people killed. Perpetrators Ramzi, Youssef, Iyad, Ismoli, and co-conspirators. So it's very interesting. He's currently in ADX Florence, located in Florence, Colorado. Maximum, what is this? What is it called? It's called a United States Penitentiary or Administrative Maximum Facility, or ADX Florence or the Florence Supermax prison. He's on Bombers Row. Ramzi Ahmed Youssef. He's with Terry Nichols, who had a plot in the bombing of the Oklahoma City. What was it? I'm trying to remember if it was a hospital. Let me see. The federal. The Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma City. That was Terry Nichols. And he's in there for life. He'll be there till the day he dies. Eric Rudolph. He was the bomber behind the Olympic Park, bombings. He's on Bombers Row. So that just gives you an example. What I think, I just look at those pictures and they kind of just take your breath away. You're just like, wow, time. Look at history. Look at time. They're both, born in the New York, around the same time too. Biggie, Christopher Wallace, was born in 1972, and the towers went up. Yeah, he was born in 1972, and the World Trade Center was was erected in 1973. So they almost had the same similar birth. They came into creation, came into reality, came into life. I'm talking about an actual human being in a structure. I'm just saying in existence. You can't say anything around this guy. Really, Rick James? Greg S. and Rick James. You had dirty minds. I have to say that much. You have dirty, filthy, disgusting minds. That's all I gotta say. So they had very similar backgrounds and violent, horrific, disgusting deaths and destruction. That's what I see in those pictures. I see, life as it should be, and then I have to remember death and destruction. The death of the Notorious Biggie Smalls, B.I.G, Christopher Wallace, and okay, Rick James, that's special. It's very personal, but that's your business. I'm not even going to repeat it. I like how there was like 17 people. It wasn't 17 people. It was like there was like 7 people at least in here. Now there's 2. You can't. You just got to spin the wheel. It's like the wheel of fortune. But yeah, those images, they just really resonate with me. They have a force and a power. I'm glad that it came up in the news. I'm glad it came up because there's you get to see Biggie's got the Coogee sweater on, and he's got his arms in the air and like what's up kind of like facial expression, and the towers are just standing there, and the water looks serene, and the sky looks almost like it's been painted. So here's more from the here's more from the article. Well, I'm not going to read too much from the article because it's not talking about the art and the photos. Quote, pictures of Christopher cannot be commercially exploited without a license from our client, Trager said to the outlet. Trager is Jennifer Trager, who represented the Notorious B.I.G's estate and made these announcements. The settlement agreement is a testament to the dedication of our client as well as our team members and the staying the course over several years. Close quote. Richard James says pre 9/11 America was different. Yeah, it was. For a lot of reasons, in a lot of ways, and a lot of different, precautions and different experiences that we have now that just didn't exist prior to September 11th, 2001. And like I said, I'm looking at these pictures, and it's just like it really does have an effect. It's a solemn, quiet kind of. Damn, we didn't see any of this coming. We didn't. Who saw Biggie getting killed? I mean, a lot of people did, I think. Especially after Tupac, it was like, really? You want to go back to? You want to go to Cali? You want to go back to Cali? Really? Maybe not the best idea, sir. But it happened. He got popped. What was it? It was a green Suburban, wasn't it, or something like that? Pac was a black BMW. It's pretty heavy stuff. It's heavy, but Biggie in the World Trade Center towers is just. I mean, that's the thing that happens. It's like, man, I remember to me. It takes me back. This is a personal anecdote. Okay, you can say that if you want, Greg S. I'm not going to repeat that. But I remember this as a personal anecdote. 6th grade, right? Everybody's saying, "Oh, we're going to New York. We're going to New York." Nobody stopped to tell us that we weren't going to New York City, aka, Manhattan, especially. And we were all like, "Oh my god!" And they just like, "Well, you guys have to, understand and learn." And they're going back at us. We were just like, "All right, we'll go anyway." So we go, and we take pictures. We're on Liberty Island. We're on Ellis Island. We're on different areas. Technically, in New York, and some of them I think technically not New York. I think they're New Jersey. Just like Biggie's pictures were taken in New Jersey. And so I just remember saying, I have a picture of myself. Do y'all want to see it? You want to see my picture of me in the towers? Does anybody want to see that? I can show you actually a portrait. I can show you. I can show you the world. um, I can look for it now. Spirit. It's kind of faded, but it's evident. You can tell what it is. This is a picture of me. Go to this site, read the article, and share it with 12,000 people. Okay, this Greg S is totally on some other stuff, talking about the East Baltimore Towers with Avon Barksdale. No, Stringer Bell. Stringer Bell. He was taking night classes trying to get into a business degree. He was going to the community college to try to get a business degree to understand business and how to manage it. That's funny. But yeah, so I can definitely put that in, check that out. Yeah, I was only what? Oh my god, was it 2000? I was going to be 12. I was going to be 12. I was 11 years old right there. I'll be 12 in the next 2 or 3 months. I think 2 months or less. Yeah, so I mean, I look at that picture of myself. I'm like, well, I'm still here. The rest of the city is still here. They just they built up a new towers. That's the thing. That's what Robert Frost said. Robert Frost has I'm looking at what is people have quotations. One that always sticks with me the most is well, two of them stick with me. One is Goethe. He says life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. And Robert Frost said, um, one thing about life, it's always true. It goes on. That is facts. Life goes on. And the worst things, the most terrible, horrific, disgusting things that could happen in the world, some of the most beautiful, greatest, wonderful, rapturous things that go on in the world, they happen, and guess what? We take them as losses or gains and continue and move on. I look like your son. Oh man. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, Rick James. You're talking gibberish now. I don't know what you're talking about. How 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 the life goes on. What? Oh, that's a lyrics. That's what is that? The Beatles? Is that the Beatles? I can't even remember. Oh la dee, oh la da, ah, oh now life goes on. I can't remember who said that. Oh la dee, oh la da. That's just lazy songwriting. You just use nonsense words. Yeah, not late. He's not late. Oh my god. Do you know what it means? Rick James, late means you're dead. Late means that they passed away. He's still alive. Paul McCartney, is, to my knowledge, is still alive. Unless something crazy happened overnight. Oh yeah. Oh. But yeah, so I just think that legal battle over these photos is quite compelling. I think something that we should really pay attention to. And so Greg S is saying slow but shorty. See, there's two people in here, but I only see one person. So it's just the algorithm. Pray to the algorithm, and maybe it'll slow, it'll show everybody that's in here. Because I think Rick James and Greg S are the only ones in here. But I still see one person. But I see 8 likes. That's a good sign. I like 8 likes. Definitely need those likes to come up. But yeah, so Biggie in his estate, definitely protect those images. I I would. I wouldn't make them commercial. They're too sacred, I think. I think they're too sacred. I wouldn't make them commercial. Now my own I'll make commercial, but it's up to them. It's up to the state, but I say not to make it commercial. That's just something for me to say. I'd say, they would need to be on the course of being protected. They need to be, honored. They need to be respected. They're very solemn pictures. I mean, even the one where he's gone like that. He's got his hands up in the air, like what? You know, it's still, a life. It's captured in time. Frozen in a moment. That's what's so important. That's what's so, that really grabs you and holds you. And I know they're gonna say, pause. Rick James, you never give me any money, but I'm gonna answer the question anyway. Was Biggie still alive when the towers fell down? No, he wasn't. He died 5 years prior. Oh, excuse me, 4 years prior, actually. It was It was in 2011 that the towers fell. And he died in 1997. Yeah, he was just talking about February 28th, 1993, when 6 people were killed, and their names are etched into the memorial as well, and as well as a woman who was had an unborn child, which is interesting. We can get into this thing about how the unborn children can be construed as, being a part of it. 2001, not 2011, 2001. So that's the power of time. That's the power of witnessing, living through, understanding, how time goes on, how, life marches on. We have that ability about us to know what it means, where this takes us. That's the power of our being. That's the power of us knowing who we are and what we are. Biggie had, he didn't have a whole, great following when he was alive. It was moderate to good. Moderate to good. But when he died, it was like, oh my God, 10 million albums sold. It was like life after death. Then, Born Again and things of that nature. And who's collecting on that? Puff. Puff. Puff taking all that. I don't think he has any control over the. Well, Rick James says, I always used to say that Biggie could have been as big as Marley. I couldn't see that happening. Marley had definitely a bigger audience, a different reach, a totally different philosophy and ideology that was different from Biggie, and it transformed a lot of different things. He had, the halls of politicians and stuff like that, and different political and revolutionary songs. What did Biggie have? Party and bullshit and party and bullshit. He had those kind of songs. Okay, Greg S., you might want to check yourself at the door. Thank you. Have a good evening. It's been real. Talking about Marley wasn't even that big, honestly. He was pretty big. He still is. Go to any white, fraternity room and check that out. Speaking of white, I'm gonna switch up the story real quick. Dave Chappelle has a point. He said that Katt Williams didn't get at any white boys. He didn't. He didn't get any white boys. He got it on black comedians. I wonder why that is. Did he look over? He gave prop to Owen. What's his name? Greg Owens. Um, is it? Is it? Let me make sure. Let me make 100% sure. No, his name isn't Greg Owens. What is it? Oh, Gary Owens. Excuse me, Gary Owens. Gary, thank you. Gary, he gave props to Gary Owens. But he didn't really give props to much else. Yeah, Gary Owen. Respect the white man. Excuse me. Respect. I sure is. I was gonna respect the white man. He's gonna give me a little piece of some land. Yes, sir. Gary Owen. I don't know if Katt Williams is on that status. I don't know if he's, trying to huck a buck and, shoe shine and, five on the black hand side and all that. But he didn't say much about white comedians. He said stuff about female comedians, black female comedians. He didn't say anything. I don't remember him saying anything about white female comedians. It's a very interesting way. And then, like, Chappelle and Katt were cool, or maybe they still are cool, but I know they definitely were. They're both from Ohio. And I just saw recently, Cat Williams introduced Dave Chappelle at one of his shows. Yeah, I think there's a different, a totally different base. There's different in extent. There's like, because there's not going to be like a Patton Oswalt and an earthquake together. I can't see that happening. There's totally different vibes. There's totally different, different ways of communicating. But it's not impossible. But I'm just saying, they're all in that same circuit. I'm sure they had, filled, different seats in different venues. Greg Ass says, yeah, they click up racially just like in prison. Yeah, that could be true, I guess. That could probably be true. Let me change that. Let me put I'm gonna say Cat William and Whites. Change the title. Just change a little something right here. Gregor says, what gang did you align with in prison? The blacks or Latinos? Definitely Dominicans. All the Dominicans, everybody that was Dominicano, I definitely associated with them. No, first of all, I never am and never will be going to prison. Never been there, never will go. Secondly, I wouldn't even align myself with anyone. I'll just be by myself. Now I know that's probably a dangerous thing, but I wouldn't be afraid to go to prison because I know that I have a philosophy of objectivism, and I would be teaching everybody about it, and they would have to respect me and give me my space. They'll put money on my books. I wouldn't want to go to penitentiary, but I wouldn't be afraid to because of that. I would have my mind. I would have my thoughts together. I would walk and carry myself as somebody that was. I'm in mental wards. That's close to prison. You're locked in. You don't have freedom to move about. You only have this small space where you can have. I mean, it's not as harsh as prison, I'm sure, but it's similar in some regards. But I'm gonna take this video. If this is the longest, we can go. We can go longer, but I think we had a good, we had out the gate it was crazy. It was like up to 7 or 8 people in here. I have 8 likes, so I'm very proud about that. And it can only go higher. And I just see the two of you now. Do you see two? Greg Ass and Rick James, I think it is. I think that we had a great discussion. I wanted to get on the milk toast train with Desantis. He says 4. I don't. Yeah, Greg sees 2. Okay. How many likes do you see? Do you both see 8 likes? Milk toast, not milk toast. MILQUETOST. It's a different kind of milk toast. You see 9. Okay. I see 1 like. You're lying like that. You are lying off your own. You know what? There are more than 1 like. No, seriously. Yeah, seriously, there's an algorithm issue then. I see 1 like. Yeah, there's 8 likes that I see. I see 8 likes. Seriously. So if this goes down to 0 people in here, I'm gonna call it a day, sign off, get this to the boss man, Mr. Troy Star Terrain, see my numbers grow. Yeah, refresh your browser. You do that. Refresh your browser. See what happens. All right, so it's only one person. So hey, thank you for bouncing with me. I appreciate who came in, who came through. Let's see. Greg S. Lex Diamonds. That was amazing. Rick James. BS. Not saying who that is. And Greg S. So I have to thank you all. I appreciate your time. And make sure that you send this video to every person you know on social media platforms, everywhere you guys go. Ask him that. Greg is saying, why are you hating on BS? Well, you gotta hate on, well, you gotta understand and figure that out on your own self. Be a man. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.